Hey there, this is CUSD Math 8, Unit 5, Lesson 8. Oops, sorry, not Math 8. What am I thinking? Math 7, so sorry. Alright, Math 7, we'll get that fixed up. Alright, so first of all, we have our kind of cool down question from the lesson today. It says 4 runners start at the same point. Lynn, Elena, Diego, and Andre. For each runner, write a multiplication equation that describes their journey. So we want a multiplication equation here. So that should be something like two numbers, 5 times 2 equals 10. Looking for some kind of multiplication equation for each one of these stories here. And we can see what they have. It says they run for 25 seconds at 8.2 meters per second. What is her finish point? Okay, so we have 4 different kind of sets of numbers here. 25, 8.2, 28, and 250. This one gives the finishes though, right? This is the rate, meters per second. 32 seconds, here we have another rate, 8.2, 8.1 meters per second. And this has a finish point at what's right there. Okay, so what this means is you're gonna have some problems that look like, it doesn't say to solve this here. So you have some problems are gonna be like a 5 times an unknown number, something, equals a finish point, 10. And you'd be trying to figure out what's that rate going to be. Maybe other times it's I know the rate and I want to know what's the finish point going to be. So we have finish points and we have velocity questions. Okay, the velocity questions will look like this in your equation. The finish point will look like that in your equation. Okay, the question mark goes there. Okay, this first number is always going to be the first number here. You're going to multiply by the number of seconds, and that's what you have. So I'll let you do that and get that worked out there on your own. Again, don't use 5 and 2. That's just me making up numbers. All right, let's take a look at the next questions that kind of carry on from the homework. Number 2, it says Andre, Diego, and Han are racing their turtles. That's going to be a really slow race. They each start in the same direction, and the starting line represented as 0. Plot the location on the number line after 5 minutes. So they put all the turtles right here on a line. Here's turtle 1, turtle 2, and turtle 3. They're going to have a race on the line, ready to go, but these are turtles. Okay, so Andre's turtle moves at a speed at 45 inches per minute. Now they're doing this for how many minutes? 5 minutes. So for Andre, we would do 45 inches, and we're going to do that for 5 minutes. So 45 times 5, multiply 5, 20, 20 plus 2 is 22, so 225. So Andre's turtle is going to go out here all the way to 225 meters. Great job, Andre. Andre's turtle seems to be in the lead. Now before I get to the next one, I want to fix something real quick. I noticed that here on my number line, it went negative 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 200. So these numbers here are not correct. So I'm going to write negative 175, negative 200, and negative 225. It just skipped a number somehow. That happens sometimes. And again, if this is like the year 2023 and you're still doing this, it might already be fixed by now. Okay, this is the first edition and it had a little error. All right, next person, Diego's turtle moves at a speed of negative 35, which means Diego's turtle did not go this way. It's going to go this way. So let's see what 35 times after 5 minutes looks like. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 more is 17. That's a negative 175. So Diego's turtle is going to go out to right there. Diego, your turtle is traveling well, but going the wrong way. All right, so the starting line was here. Diego's turtle said, I'm not playing, and decided to go back home. Han's turtle moved at a speed of negative 25 inches per mile. So again, another turtle going the wrong way. And we'll multiply 25 times 5. And we multiply that out, we end up with 125 for the next turtle, which goes here for Han's turtle right there. All right, so can we say who won the race? Well, we could definitely say that Andre's turtle went the furthest because it went 225, followed by Diego, who went negative 175, and Han, who went negative 125. If there really wasn't a starting line, if you just wanted to measure how far they went and didn't worry about what direction, then that'd be a fun way to kind of figure that out. Chances are turtles don't know how to walk in a straight line, but I don't know. I've never been a turtle. Number 3. calculate the value of each expression. So we have some multiplication problems here, and I'm going to do a couple of these. I'm going to do A, I'm going to do C, I'm going to do G, and I'm going to do H. Here we go. A, we have whole numbers. 6 times 8 is 48, but a positive times a negative is a negative. Cool. This one's a regular fraction problem. I can think of it negative 4 over 1 and then multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. We'll keep our fraction bar there. 1 times 4 is 4. And 4 over 4 is equal to 1. But let's not forget, this was a negative times a positive, which means it's still going to be a negative 1. Over here, we're adding and subtracting on this side. So I have 18 plus a negative 6. That means I'm subtracting here. 18 minus 6 becomes 12. And then I have 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. And so we are going to be sitting at 3 is our answer. Our next one, this is a subtracting a negative number, which means I'm going to be adding this together. But I have a negative number right there. So I have a negative 8 and 7/8 plus 2 1/2. All right. So when I have two different signs there, I'm going to still find the difference and then keep the larger sign. Meaning I'm going to have a negative solution, but I want to find the difference between these two numbers. Okay? So to find the difference between these two numbers, we can do it like this. We can say this is really 8 and 7/8. Okay? And this is 2 1/2. Now I don't want to write 2 1/2 because if I'm going to subtract or add fractions, I need a common denominator. So the half needs to turn into something with an 8 on the denominator. So to go from 2 to 8 is multiplying by 4. So I multiply the top by 4, and 1 times 4 is 4. So another way of writing 1/2 with the 8 as a denominator is 4/8. Right? 4/8 is the same as a half. So now I have this problem here. I want to find the difference of 8 and 7/8 minus 2 and 4/8. So for the fraction part, 7 minus 4 is 3, so 3/8 there, and 8 minus 2 is 6, so that's our difference, but because the negative was larger, we're going to keep the sign there, and we'll have a negative 6 and 3/8 for our solution. Alright. Okay, number 4, you can kind of do that one on your own there. It could be helpful to think about some of these as you can multiply them out, or you could think about them as fractions. Right, this is 1 100th, like so. This is negative 1 100th, and this is, of course, is 10 over 1. And you can multiply all those together. We have positive times a negative is a negative. A negative there times a positive becomes still a negative. You should have a negative answer. I'll let you figure it out. Okay, number 5. Let's look at number 5 real quick. The bank represents deposits with positive numbers, yay, and withdrawals with negative numbers. What do you think 8 times negative 20 means? Okay, so that negative 20 is a what? It's going to be a withdrawal, right? And what's the withdrawal going to be? Well, negative 20 would be a withdrawal of $20 being taken out of the bank account. Okay, so that's happening there. We're taking $20 out. So what does the 8 represent? Probably the number of times you're taking $20 out. That makes sense? Does that make sense? So we're taking out, so 8 times we took out $20. So explain your reasoning and write that out, all right? Number 6. Let x equal negative 0.4 and y equal negative 0.8. State whether each expression has a positive or negative value. Okay, so x is here, y is here. That's great. Okay, and we have x plus y. So think about this. I have this distance right here plus this distance right here, all of which are on that side of the negative sign. This plus this is going to give us somewhere out there. So is our solution going to be positive or negative? Well, we're going to say that's still going to end up being a negative solution there. And you can even work it out. You could do 0.4 or negative 0.4 plus a negative 0.8, and 0.4 plus 0.8 is a 1.2. The signs are the same, so we keep the sign the same. That's definitely a negative value. And over here, x minus y, well again, negative 0.4 minus, in this case here, a negative 0.8. What happens when we subtract a negative number? We add. So we're going to add those two together, or we're going to add, we end up looking like negative 0.4 plus 0.8. When I rewrite that, now the signs are different, so I find the difference. I do 0.8 minus 0.4, and that becomes 0.4. But which number is larger in value, 8/10 or 4/10? Well, the 8/10 is, and that now is positive, so I'd have a positive 0.4. And that's it for number 6. Okay, that's all for today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.